Hello again, everybody. I'm Patrick Wade from the Champaign County Joint Information Center. Today we're talking about just sort of what we can expect over the next week or two. We're here with Champaign-Urbana Public Health Administrator Julie Pryde and Champaign County Sheriff Dustin Heuerman. So Julie, can you tell us just what's the current situation in Champaign County?
Sure. Currently, there are 85 cumulative cases. 40 of those are active, and 43 of those have recovered. We've had 2 deaths in our county thus far. This past weekend, we had the first day since about March 22nd, where we had a 24-hour period with no new cases. So that was encouraging.
Okay, great. Sheriff Heuerman, you've obviously been working really closely with the Champaign County Emergency Operations Center. Can you just tell us about some of the stuff that you guys have been working on and what we can kind of expect for the upcoming week?
Sure, Pat. So you can think of the Emergency Operations Center as kind of in the background, putting all of the puzzle pieces together for an incident like this in the county. Albeit we have, it's unique working in a virtual space as opposed to everybody being physically together. But what happens is we bring representatives from multiple areas throughout the county together to make sure a coordinated effort is made by getting all of the decision makers in one spot instead of having to reach out 15 different times to try to get an answer to something. So things that we see in the EOC are policymakers, operations specialists, logistics, planning, joint information. All of those aspects come together, and we help run this incident for the county. And there are probably hundreds of people involved in this within their various aspects. The benefit of this is we're able to assess in real time what's happening in our county and then make real-time decisions in order to address some of the things that are coming up. So that's very important here, especially to the community, as we're addressing things in a timely manner, and the EOC helps us do that. An example might be, obviously, first responders and healthcare providers need hand sanitizer, masks, and gloves, and it makes sense to work together on these things as opposed to individually, because we don't want to be competing for resources. We all need the same resources. We're all very essential to the community. And so a collaborative effort allows us to get all of the things we need. We also take a look at, it's not an exact science, because every day we are evaluating our situation and making changes based on what we're seeing. So we plan for some of the what ifs. For an example, how do you make sure that if I call for a fire truck, an ambulance, or a police officer, that I get one? As a community member, I'm expecting if I need one of those that I'm getting one, right? Well, that's our job to kind of plan for. How do we make sure that we can still provide a high level of service to the community members here in Champaign County? How do we help the hospitals from getting overwhelmed? And what clues start telling us that that's happening? Public health, both hospitals, the school districts are involved. A lot of people don't think about how do we feed kids when they're out of school who normally get those food from the school districts. Well, the United Way, the school districts, we bring everybody together to make sure everybody's getting what they need. And so, we are continuously assessing the needs of our first responders, the needs of our healthcare providers, and making sure that we're adequately able to prepare for those types of things, and also letting the community know what we're doing along the way. So if they have questions, they don't have to go to a million different places to try to find an answer to one. Consolidated information is really what we're working on right now. So when you come to the Champaign County COVID-19 page that you are getting relevant information, and you can trust that information.
Sure, that's great. Thank you, Sheriff. That sounds like a lot of different people are working proactively to address the situation. So that's great. Julie, can you tell us what can we kind of expect over the next week or two as far as cases and what we should continue doing to protect ourselves and our families?
Well, I would like to think that we weren't going to have any more cases, but given what we saw this weekend with reports, we had dozens of reports of people who were gathering, be it for some kind of impromptu church service or at events in the park or holiday get-togethers. we're definitely anticipating to see a spike in cases within the next, anywhere from 3 to 14 days, because that's how long it will take someone who happened to be infected over the weekend to show symptoms. So I just need to remind everyone that even if it's someone you love, or if it is someone who you work with, you cannot be lax about social distancing, and you cannot be lax about making sure that you think of yourself as infected and other people around you as infected. We have got to keep this up because you can see that it does make a difference. It does work. That's why we're doing it. And we have got to be vigilant about it. We definitely don't want to see an increase in cases, but we're certainly preparing for that. Because like I said, we did see a lot of activity that was not social distancing this past weekend. I also want to remind people that as the weather gets nice, it's perfectly fine to go out and take walks or, work in your yard or whatever, but to make sure that you are talking to your kids and keeping your kids off of the playgrounds if you're in the park. Keep them off the playgrounds if you have a neighborhood playground. Prevent them from playing any type of sport that involves sharing things or getting too close to each other. So any type of group sport. So, we just have got to maintain vigilance so that we can get through this and keep our healthcare system from becoming overwhelmed.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's so important to remember. Well, thank you both again for being here today to help keep us informed. Just a couple of quick reminders, as always, you can go to champaigncountycovid19.org for more information about what's going on in Champaign County. And anyone in need of resources can always call 211 to be connected with a trained specialist who can help you out, help you find resources. Again, thank you both for being here. Thank you to our viewers for watching and staying informed. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.